This is a Dr. Bill Corter, and for this presentation I would like to address one question. How can you improve your gut? And to me, as a physician, that's a very important question, because when you go into your physician's office, you typically are evaluated by them checking your weight, checking your vital signs, doing some lab tests, seeing what your cholesterol level is, etc. For me, those aren't the best signals for how good your health is. The very best signal for how good your health is the quality of your intestines, the quality of your ability to digest your food. That's probably the number one determinant. Now, to highlight that, let me point out a couple of overlooked historical facts and then highlight two key points. Number one, when you look at the development of the fetus, when cells begin to differentiate and the brain begins to form, at that exact time as the cells divide, one part goes to the brain, another part goes to the intestines. Those two systems are incredibly linked. In fact, there are millions and millions of neurons that connect your intestines to your brain. That's why many people refer to the intestines, your gut, as your second brain. The second overlooked historical point that is in 1901, 100 plus years ago, a physician by the name of, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, Dr. Mecklinoff, won the Nobel Peace Prize in medicine because he showed the connection between the health of the intestines and the health of your overall well-being. Unfortunately, his breakthrough 100 plus years ago was forgotten for around 50, 60, 70 years until the last 25 years, where you've had a number of physicians, clinicians like Donna Gates, who have re-emphasized the importance of your gut, and specifically the importance of the health of the microbes within your gut. And so those two historical facts I think are important to keep in mind, and let me give you two examples why. When you look at the neurochemicals in your brain, and those are the neurochemicals that relate and control your level of mood, over 60% of those chemicals are not produced by the brain, they're produced in your gut. So your mental sharpness, your emotional health really relies on your intestines. Let's take a look at the antibodies in your bloodstream. Those are the particles in your bloodstream that really attack foreign bodies, antigens. They attack bacteria, they attack viruses, they attack contaminants, toxins, pollutants, any foreign substances. Those antibodies are your first line of defense. 75% of those antibodies are produced in your gut. So again, it's your intestinal health that determines your first line of defense and determines your mood. Now, when we were in grade school, all of us were taught the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Those were the solutions, the trend towards good education. Well, the person who developed that certainly couldn't spell, because only one of the words begins with the letter R. But today, if you go to a good physician, most of them are recommending 4 R's. The 4 R's are to remove, replace, re-inoculate, and repair. And they all refer to your intestinal health. Now, remove is to remove contaminants and toxins from your diet. We've already addressed that with our eating style. The second is to replace. We've already addressed that because you want to shift your diet to foods that improve the health of your intestines. Re-inoculate relates to developing the right bacteria, the healthy, good bacteria, and the healthy microbes in your intestines that give you good intestinal health. And repair, that will follow physiologically if you do the first 3 R's. So how do you improve the health of your gut? Well, Tony Robbins used to say, repetition is the mother of skill. I don't want to be overly repetitive. I'm not going to repeat the recommendations for my dietary changes. But what I'm going to recommend for this habit, for this video, is that you expand your diet in addition to changing it. And you need to expand it in two areas. One, you need to add some fermented foods to your regular diet. And two, you need to add probiotics. Now, what are fermented foods? Fermented foods are been around for centuries. They're material like sauerkraut, some of the cabbages, some yogurt, some of the pickles. Food that has been fermented before you eat it, and then comes in with enzymes that improve your health. So what I'm recommending is not that you start eating sauerkraut for lunch. What I recommend is that when you go to the grocery store, you ask the person behind the counter, do you have any fermented foods? If they do, try buying one now and then. And don't have it as a regular staple. Have it as a small piece on one plate. Have a little bit each day, a little bit of sauerkraut, maybe a little bit of yogurt, maybe a little bit of cabbage, just as a small part of your meal. But what that will do is it will begin to add the right enzymes to your digestive tract. It will begin to add the right bacteria to your digestive tract. So you're improving your digestive tract both by your eating and then by expanding to include some fermented foods. If your grocery store does not have them, it's easy to ask where's the nearest health food store, because any health food store will have some fermented foods, and they're easy to add to your plate. And the last component is probiotics, but that's such an important component. I'm going to discuss that on our next video, not this presentation. So for this habit, please try to add fermented foods. If you can, I think you'll see again an increase in your health, a further increase in your health, physical, emotional, and mental. Another small habit, easy to do, not expensive, and it will make difference in your health. Thank you for listening. Check the website. There's information there on fermented foods if you need some further education. Thank you.